Hey y'all, so I'm finna go over this sermon. This might be two parts. So this series, he just started last Sunday. Cause I tried to do this last Sunday, but it would not let me upload it for nothing, cause I kept filming over and over again, but it wouldn't let me upload it. So, the name of the series is The Reigning Spirit, which is the Holy Spirit. And, he wants the church to be able to discern between the evil spirit and to not just be hearers but doers of the word. He said there's going to be deception in the last days. So this Sunday he started off with Galatians chapter 3. That's around this one moment. Galatians chapter 3 verses 1. You foolish Galatians. Verses 1 through 3. You foolish Galatians, who has bewitched you before your very eyes? Jesus Christ was clearly portrayed as crucified. I would like to learn just one thing from you. Did you receive the Spirit by the works of the law or by believing what you heard? Are you so foolish at the beginning by means of the Spirit? Are you now trying to finish by means of the flesh? And his point was, you're denying things that you see with your own eyes. And I'm going to go back to Matthew 9, but I'm going to just finish Galatians first. And then he says that we have a lack of spiritual sense. And the Pharisees, that's what I said, I'm going to go back to Matthew 9 to prove that the Pharisees, they just did not believe what was in front of their own eyes. He says how the church, like some people, when they hear demons, they just run from it. They try to avoid the word demon. They try to run from or avoid it. You're supposed to stand in front of it and face it, And then the weapons that we fight are not carnal. He said that the enemy wants us to believe, to fight spiritual warfare with the natural. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. But yeah, back to Matthew 9. Give you an example of the Pharisees denying what they see with their own eyes, which I'm sure y'all know. Jesus heals the blind and the mute in Matthew 9, verses 27 to 34. I'm just going to read verse 34. Okay, well, let me do this. 32. While they were going out, a man who was demon-possessed and could not talk was brought to Jesus. And when the demon was driven out, the man who had been mute spoke. The crowd was amazed and said, "Nothing like this has ever been seen in Israel." But the Pharisees said, "It is by the prince of demons that he drives out demons." That's verse 34. They said that he casts out demons because he has a demon, which made no sense. So they denied what they seen. Like, how can you deny such a miracle, Second point is 1 Timothy. Chapter 4, verses 1 through 2. Oh, yeah, this was good. I'm going to read the verse first. The Spirit clearly says that in later times some will abandon the faith and follow deceiving spirits and things taught by demons. He's talking about false prophets, false doctrines. He's talking about like there's YouTube ministers. They're not submitted to anything. We have to be able to deceive. If that's a good fruit, that's a bad fruit. And then, verse 2 says, such teachings come through hypocritical liars whose consciences have been seared as with a hot iron. It doesn't affect their conscience. They don't feel bad for what they're doing. So, back to verse 1. The Spirit clearly says that in later times some will abandon the faith and follow deceiving spirits. Right there, he made a point that if you go back and read it, the Spirit clearly says the first spirit has a capital S. And then it says follow deceiving spirits. That's with a lowercase s. So he says, we have to know, if we're listening to a pastor and they're talking about spirits, the church has to say, okay, is that the big S or the little S? And I like when he did that, because, like, yeah, you have to notice every little thing in the Bible. There's one capital S and then one small S. The devil isn't our problem, it's the flesh. That's what that's the thing. We blame everything on the devil. The devil does have power, because I know I say that myself, like, we give the devil too much power, but he does have power. But, it's not him. It's really us operating in the flesh. Not denying the flesh. The devil isn't a problem, it's the flesh. It's an individual that doesn't remain guarded in the Holy Spirit, or doesn't know how to react to the evil spirits. It's not it taking over you, it's you taking heed to it. It's not the evil spirit taking over you, it's you taking heed to the evil spirit, because you're being deceived. Like Adam and Eve. Oh, yeah. Like Adam and Eve. Or just Eve. He didn't take over Eve. He just deceived her, and she took heed to it. It's not possessed. The Holy Spirit will do for you what you can't do in the natural. In the last days, there will be deception, and the church has to know if it is the capital S or the little s. And then it all started in Genesis chapter 3, telling Eve to eat the apple. I don't know if it was the apple or not. We don't know. I said that. And then he said, telling Eve to be her own authority. We say, do what you want, do what you feel. Like, we're not our own person. We're submitted to God. Your child is not your own child. That child is God's. Once you start thinking like that, it changes your perspective on everything. Like, I am not my own person. I can do what I want my body. No, you can't. I can wear what I want to wear. If the Holy Spirit... well, I'm not even going to say that, because I used to say, well, I'm not convicted of that yet. You know right from wrong. I'm speaking to myself. We know right from wrong. So we can't say, well, I haven't been convicted of that yet, but it's wrong. So, yeah. And then he goes on. What's this? Yeah. And then he goes on to Romans chapter 5. Y'all, I really want to learn the order of the Bible. Like, I should have that memorized. This is sad. I'm screaming. Can you see I just almost went forward? No, it's backwards. Romans come before Timothy. Anyways. Romans chapter 5, verses 8. Yeah, this is going to be part 2. I'm at the 8-minute mark. But God demonstrates his own love for us in this. While we were still sinners, Christ died for us. He said that your mindset needs to be submitted to Christ. It's all about your mindset. Once you have the mindset to pursue Christ, and you also have to, like Romans said, renew your mind every day. He said that you can't mark a day on your calendar. January 14th is the day that I renew my mind. No, you have to keep doing it. January 15th, January 16th, January 17th. You have to keep renewing your mind. It's all about your mindset. Then it goes back to Matthew chapter 7. Oh, that's bookmarks. Verses 15 through 23. Well, I will read this in part 2, y'all. And there's still a whole back, so yeah. Might be 3 parts. I don't know. But hopefully this is helping y'all. I know it is.